I've seen an increased interest in persons looking to start their e-commerce business. In some cases, it's starting it from scratch. In others, you have your existing business and you want to take it online. If you're in this category, then you're in the right place. Over a series of videos, I'm going to show you from start to finish how to create your own e-commerce website. I know it could be overwhelming going through an hour-long tutorial. So for that reason, I'm going to break this down into small episodes that you could really take your time and get through it. My name is Joshua from 𝗵𝗡 Consultancy Group, and we help small business owners clear the path to their success. So let's take a look together at what we're going to be covering in this guide and in today's video. So we're going to go through a series of episodes including branding. We're also going to look at how you could install all the tools you're going to need for your new website. We're going to customize that website, and we're going to break that down into several parts where we're going to look at the tool we're going to use to manage your web store, which is going to be WooCommerce. We're going to look at your storefront and one of the tools that we're going to use as a sales funnel called cart flows. We're going to also look at optimizing your website. We're going to look at installing a certificate to ensure your website is secure. Images, how you're going to back up your website, what security we're going to use. And last but not least, we're going to do some bonus tips. Look at search engine optimization and some of the pro tools that I would recommend. So let's start by talking about branding. Where do you get your inspiration? Colors, your font style, the logo, the symbol you're going to use to represent your website, and your domain name. As I was preparing to do this video, I asked my wife, what is a website you would go to if you're interested in fashion? She gave me two examples. I want us to look at them and kind of take a look at the general layout of the website. What are things that you think they're doing well, and what are things you think you may want to do yourself? For example, let's start with 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. Here is 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀's website. If we look from the beginning, you want to take a look firstly at its logo. Where is it placed? In our case, it's on the top left-hand corner. What's the color being used? And we're seeing a subtle pink that's being used in the logo. Then you want to take a look at its header. How is it using the menu? And we'll notice this has a mega menu with photos being used in the menu, as well as the different categories that is used. We're noticing how it uses images as well, and the background colors that are used in showing those or highlighting those images. Let's look at another example, which is H&M. H&M, you'll notice the logo is centered. The menu is also centered. It's not using images in the menu, but at the same time, you're still seeing those categories. It has a huge white background so that it's easy to read with basically dark text. And we're seeing, again, it's using its brand color in the background. So let me share some other websites that you could go to get some inspiration. You could go to bestwebsite.gallery. There's also cssnectar.com or webdesigninspiration.com. The next thing we want to look at is the colors. Colors evoke different human emotions. Some of the areas you're going to use your brand colors includes your logo. You're going to use it on your website as well as your advertising. So let's look at some of the tools that might help you. The first thing I want to do is share a blog post that really breaks down how important colors are. And that blog post was done by 99 Designs, one of the other sites I'm going to share later on. They go through a very comprehensive blog post with everything you need to know to choose your brand. Now, this blog post is about 3 years old, but it's still very relevant and packed with a lot of information. So it's going to talk about why branding color really matters. It's going to go through an application of branding colors, as well as how to determine your brand identity and much, much more. So I'm going to post a link to it in the description of this video. Take a moment to go through it as we now look at some of the other tools you could also use. What are some of the complementary color you want to use with it? One of those tools I'll recommend is the website Coolors. It's a play on words, so it's COOLORS.co. I just say colors, but coolors.co. You could go to generate. You will click the space bar to generate new color schemes or a new color palette. They would recommend 5 colors. you don't necessarily need to choose 5 colors for your website. It's important to choose at least 2 or 3. What you want to do is at least have a main brand color. Then you would want to have a complementary color. So for example, let's say this is your complementary color. The third thing you want to have is a neutral color. In some cases, it may be a light gray or white. Some of the others may be used in other areas, but those are the most important. Have a main color, an accent color that would be used for buttons and highlights to grab person's attention or call to action, and your neutral color. Another website as well you could go to is Design Seeds, and I like the way it uses natural images and then bring out the different color palettes. So here, for example, we're seeing an image on the left, but then it's grabbing the different colors that are used in the image. So this is a nice way of how you could see the colors could work together, and you could use it for inspiration. Or maybe if you don't already have a brand color, it's a great place to get ideas. A tool I use to identify colors is 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀 is a Chrome extension. So if you install it on your Chrome browser and you go to a website, so for example, if we go to 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗁𝗀 that we started with, and I wanted to find out what was this color here used in the background. So if you come to the tool, select it, hover your mouse over the color that you're interested in, and you'll notice to the top of the window, you'll get that color and it will copy it to the clipboard. So now you could use that color or use a shade of it on your website if you really like it. And nothing is wrong with that as long as you make it your own. It's not for you simply just to copy everyone's color and font and so forth. Remember, the idea is to make it your own. So the other area of our branding we want to look at is font. Your font style should align with your brand. Here is a blog post that I think really does a good job of explaining how to use your font. So I'm going to share again the link for this in the description of the video, but it goes through everything you need to know about picking your brand fonts. And it starts out by letting you know the perfect brand fonts should be unique and memorable. It should be legible, work on every platform, and communicate your brand personality. So check it out when you get a chance. Another tool you should take advantage of is the Chrome extension 𝗏𝗏𝗀. So once you install it and you go to a website that you want to see what fonts are they using. For example, if we go to 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗁𝗀 and I come to the Chrome extension 𝗏𝗏𝗀 and I click on it, you'll notice it should start telling you the font that's being used as I hover over the image. So if I click on the font, you'll notice it says that the font here is Scala, it's 400 is the weight and the size is 14. Well, if I scroll down on the page, for example, and I see this title here and I click on it, you'll notice now the font style used here is Montserrat, it's 700 and the size is 31. To take it off, you just click on the extension icon again. The other recommendation I would make as it relates to your font is using the website 𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 what goes well together. You could even go to featured peers and go through the different recommendations. It may also share certain websites where these two combinations are used so that you could get some ideas as well. As we move on, let's look at your logo. By definition, a logo is an easily recognizable graphic symbol that identifies a company, a commercial product, or any public or private entity. Here are two free logo recommendations I would want to make. The first one is Canva and the second one is Logo Maker. Let's go to their websites. So the first one is Canva. You could simply click on the button to start designing a custom logo. It gives you some example of how your logo would be used and what material you might use it on. Try out Canva, it's totally free. The second one is logomaker.com. Here's another example that allows you to go through. You'd be able to choose your text, use symbol, and design your logo from scratch. Now, if you're not into going through the work of doing it yourself, there are some other recommendations that will do your professional logo for you. And those would be examples like 99 Designs. And 99 Designs basically allows you to post a job, and there will be other designers that will be bidding for your job. The price of your logo would depend on the package that you choose. But if you go to the website, click on how it works, it will explain to you the details that you would need to go through to get your logo designed. Another example is Fiverr. Fiverr started out as a company that did jobs for $5. Since then it has grown, and they do a lot of different work. You could click on logo design. You will see different designers will publish their work. They will also indicate how much they will start their jobs from. In some cases $15. More professional designers might start at $100 or more. You can check out vividconsultant.com. We have a section that deals with logo and brand identity. For us, we think it's important to develop a relationship with your graphic designer so you know their work and what they're capable of. And we have done that over the years, recognizing that it's important to have someone that will be able to deliver a really quality logo for your brand. We've done several different projects, including redesigning logos and how they're going to be used with your product labels and so forth. Again, I'll leave a link for it in the description of the video and a discount coupon as well. Finally, let's look at your domain name. Your domain name is the address persons will use to find your business on the internet. Some recommendations here. Use the right extension. For example, .com, .org if maybe it's a non-profit organization, .net. I would still recommend if you could get a .com would be better. It's more recognizable. More persons trust a .com domain. Shorter is better. You want a name people will remember very easily. So a way in how you could go about that is tell 10 persons your domain name or the name you're thinking of using. And if they're struggling to spell it, probably you should simplify it. Also, avoid using hyphens or numbers. I've also included an example blog post that I think does an excellent job of explaining how you should use your domain name. I will leave a link to it in the description of the video. What are we going to be doing next? We're going to be looking at installation and setup of the domain name. We're going to go into your recommendations for your hosting. We're also going to set up WordPress, which we're going to be using as our platform. We're going to install our theme and page builder, as well as Cartflow and WooCommerce. So if this video was useful to you, please click the like button, as well as subscribe and click the notification bell so when we post the next video, you will be notified. See you in the next video.